Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream as Bitcoin makes a new all-time high again today. The third one of the week, I believe. Apologies for the late start. I was engrossed in banter in the CC Pro chat room. Bitcoin right now testing 76,400. I do think it's only a matter of time before we get a breakout to the 80k level. I think 83k, if I remember rightly, is the target of one of these breakouts. So that's probably where we're likely to see a pullback. Bitcoin dominance continues to dominate, which is why we're not seeing massive breakouts for altcoins. We have dropped back, but had this kind of bounce today. So although we dropped as low as 59.8 earlier, we've bounced up the 60% level once again. So right now, for everyone that's holding altcoins, what we need is this dominance level to make quite a significant breakdown back below 59%, and that's where we're going to see the altcoin rally. But it's probably going to take a bit of time. Bitcoin's still dominating the market, and I expect that to happen for the next wee while. Once we get some sideways consolidation, that's when altcoins will have their real rallies. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see pumps across the board. We saw Cardano today up 9%, trying to break above the 200-day moving average. It's been under since April. We've got XRP try to reclaim the 200 MA as support and break above, well, hopefully the 58-cent level. And we've got some other coins making big moves, especially Dogecoin testing the 20-cent level, trying to get back to its March high, which we've been talking about for a while. The March high, once altcoins break the local high, which was March this year, that's probably when we'll see explosive moves. Let's zoom out to Doge on the weekly. You can see it quite easily. This level here, the high from March, April time, tested it with a wick this week. Once we break above that, there's not a lot of resistance for Dogecoin until the 30-cent level. It's obviously about a 30% move. So quite a significant move once we get that break, and there's so many altcoins that look the same. We look at Cardano, March high, and then probably a big move up to 118. Chili's, again, around 16 cents, and we could see a break up to the 27-cent level. There's so many altcoins across the board that all look the same. Earlier today, we got the news that the Fed in the US has cut interest rates by 25 points. The market's pricing in another 25-point move in December, which is going to be driven by inflation. So there's 2 inflation data points released before then, so this number is going to change dramatically. So that'll bring volatility into the markets. We obviously saw the Bank of England cut interest rates today as well, and as I said in CC Pro earlier, China is on the brink of agreeing a $1.5 trillion stimulus package. So global liquidity is going to rise quite dramatically over the next few months. And like I said, even with Trump getting elected, he's still going to want his agenda to go forward, and he's going to need cash for that. Not to mention the deficit, plus governments are in such a bad debt loop that they're just going to have to print to get themselves out of the mess. So global liquidity is going to rise, and that is going to be bullish for assets, in particular risk assets like crypto, stocks. Gold's had a bit of sell-off over the last few days. It's kind of bounced today, but one of the biggest reasons for this is gold was rising on the risk of hyperinflation and world war, basically. With Trump getting elected, there is a sense across the world that it might bring a bit more stability, and obviously people will be rotating into risk assets because Trump's going to be very bullish for the broadening of the stock market. Good to see somebody in the chat dropping a question. Get any of your questions in that you want to cover. Any altcoins we can have a look at. We'll look at some charts. If you want to look at gold, if you want to look at Stocks, we can look at that as well, but we'll focus on kind of more altcoins. We're going to dive into the world of memes tonight. Ewan, when do you see big money flowing into alts? Well, I think the process is starting. If we look at Total 2, we've reclaimed the $1 trillion level on the daily time frame. We're above $1 trillion, just to be fair. But we've broken above the 200-day moving average. So if we go back time, I think it's around here. Yeah, you can see we normally get this chop, which we've had up and down, and this is the election in 2020. As you can see, with a pump, and then basically went on quite a parabolic rally. 62% move in market cap to the 3rd of January. Quite a big move for a market cap. So I don't think we'll see that big a rise, but I do think altcoin market is going to continue to rise with Bitcoin leading the charge. Once Bitcoin kind of settles out, trade sideways, we'll see some altcoin pumps, and then we'll see Bitcoin go on and probably have a blow off top in Q1 next year, and then hopefully we get a massive alt season that we never really got in 2021. It wasn't quite the same as 2017. So in 2017 we had, go on the chart, I think I've showed it a few times before, on the weekly time frame. In 2017, Bitcoin peaked here on the 11th of December. But if we look at Total 2, so the altcoin market, it peaked just here on the 1st of January. So I had about a month of just running wild, and that was a proper alt season. In 2021, Bitcoin peaked in November, and we never got that second pump. So the altcoin market peaked in April 2021. So I do think we will get that proper alt season this time. We'll see the broadening out. I think what's going to cause a bit of the catalyst is once Trump actually starts talking about what he's going to do in office, if he sticks to getting rid of Gary Gensler, if he appoints a new chairman of the SEC, if they turn pro-crypto, then I do think we'll see that money flow back into utility tokens. I've been saying it for a few months now, that I truly believe that there's a place for altcoin, there's a place for meme coins in the space. One of the biggest things for meme coins over the past year is basically onboarded people to crypto, but also to dexes and wallets. So everybody in crypto now has a MetaMask, has a Phantom wallet, knows how to use Radium, knows how to use Uniswap, whereas that wasn't really the same in the past. In 2021, you very rarely used Uniswap. So that's been a real benefit to the space. But because people haven't been sure of what's going to happen with altcoins, every day there's a new altcoin getting slapped down with a notice from the SEC or from the European Union. Most people have just stayed in memes. I do think once some regulations come in, some real clarity comes in, the money will flow back into utility tokens, because ultimately they're less risky. And we've said it for ages, but there's no way this is retail investors driving the market cap of memes. It's got to be smart money. It's got to be Wall Street. So they're only playing in memes because they can't invest in utility tokens, because they don't know if they're going to get slapped down by rules and regulations. You look at all the memes on pump.fun, I think they launch like 100, 200, maybe even 300 memes a day, and they all go to 100k market caps. There's no way that's genuine retail money. No one has that much capital, especially in a sideways market. So yeah, I do believe utility tokens will come back. Let's have a look at some charts. Chev, good question. Actually, really good question. I'll cover that shortly. Let's have a look at Inspect, because Inspect's doing nice moves this week. So I think I covered this the other night, but we posted this in CC Pro that we were buying some because we just couldn't see it getting any cheaper, and it was kind of forming a double bottom. It had bottomed out down here. It was starting to trade sideways. That typically means it's a break of market structure. So bought some here, and we are now up a massive 385% on that trade. So hopefully some of you took it with us. Inspect, I think, has got huge potential. Don't think there's going to be massive sell pressure. I think first resistance is around just shy of 7 cents, but there's no real sell resistance in the chart until 16 cents. So that would be a kind of short-term target, but I do think it'll go on to all-time highs. It'll go much higher than this in the coming bull run. Tiny market cap as well. CRV. Look at it on the weekly. Okay. I mean, it's making a nice move, but it's obviously up 18% in the last few days. I think it's got a lot of room to go. It did get hit with loads of FUD about the owner getting liquidated and things like that as well. So loads of upside for CRV in my opinion. It'd be nice to see us reclaim this level at 35 cents from here. I do think we move up quite quickly. Charts bottomed out, like I just said with Inspect. You can see charts no longer dropping, now trading sideways. No more lower lows, no more lower highs, now in sideways. Then we can start going up again. Nice bottoming and structure. Let's have a look at Opulus. Opulus, to be fair, kind of lagging the market. That to me is not a bad thing. Because what we've saw with Opulus in the past is when Opulus gets moving, it does move pretty quickly. For me, we've put in, this is going to be a higher low. So hopefully next we see a higher high. It'd be nice for us to reclaim some of these MAs. Opulus, one of the few projects that continue to ship new product ideas, new updates. They're always building. I think it'll also be a really good project for retail investors when they finally come into the market. I still don't believe retail's here. I think retail's only going to come when Bitcoin starts breaking some key levels. You look at crypto Twitter and it's actually just full of the same people. There's no real new entrants yet, but I do think that'll come very soon. I think as we approach Christmas, I normally see that kind of Santa rally, they call it in Wall Street, and end of year people get bonuses and people look at what's hot to put their money into, and I think it'll be crypto that sucks up a lot of that liquidity. Let's see what other questions are in the chart. I will cover the fibs in a second. Sushi, I think I've been saying this for weeks about Sushi and Uni. I think they're going to have an amazing bull run. I think Dexys as a whole will have an amazing bull run. We've already saw Uniswap make this giant move yesterday. Just to show you what I was talking about in that short video, is Uniswap had came back to the 3-day 200 moving average and a key level we had marked out previously. We had said if we could hold that level, we did expect a big move, and it literally came straight away, with Uniswap now up. It was up 30% at its peak, still looking really strong. And Uniswap was one of the biggest ones that got hit with enforcement for the SEC. I think Sushi will follow behind as well. Sushi probably need to follow. I don't know if they do or not. I don't really use SushiSwap, but DEXs are going to be a big theme. I already saw Swissborg making a massive deal about DEXs and how important they are to the space. I think Sushi will catch up eventually with Uni, but Uni's going to be the daddy whole cycle. Yeah, Polkadot. I think I posted that I was buying this level here. Pretty sure I posted here. I never actually added anything down here because, to be honest, I was buying. I bought some Borg, and let me actually drop it. I'll drop it in CC Pro tonight. What I bought recently. I actually forgot to post, but I bought Borg. I never bought any more DOT because it was getting to the point where it was just dipping. But I do think this is the low for me on DOT. I think it was just needing to fill this liquidity gap. We all say big wicks always get filled. I do think that was filling some of this liquidity here, and now we can go up. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a candle that tested the $4 level. That might be probably one of the last opportunities to buy in at these levels. On the weekly, you can see it quite nicely filling that gap. Will it go back to all-time high? Potentially. Let's draw the fibs on mad. So for fibs, just to go back to Shiv's question, what you're looking for is the extension. So if we look at Ethereum from 2017 to the bear market in 2018, in 2021 it extended to the 3.618, just shy of it, to the 3.618. So with that being said, if it does that again, then Ethereum extends as much as that to the 3.8, you are talking about a $15,000 Ethereum price. If we use the same logic with Polkadot, then it could potentially go as high as $189. Now for me, that's going to be a big ask from where it is just now, but it all depends on what I've been talking about for weeks, is do we see that crypto actually finally starts fulfilling its potential? Do people actually start using crypto? Does it actually get mainstream adoption? We've spoke about it for years, like XRP, much better than Swift for moving money across borders. But is MD actually using it? And you see that with so many of the utility tokens. Like, are they finally going to be used by businesses, by everyday people? And it can be as easy as, I don't understand the tech behind the internet or email. I just send an email and it goes. People don't have to understand that they're using a cryptocurrency, but it just happens in the background of a transaction or a computer system or a chatbot, for example. So I do think if we see that movement in crypto, which is bound to come eventually, then that could propel these altcoins to these massive high levels. But you don't want to hold out for these massive high targets anyway. You want to be selling on the way up. And let's be serious, even if it goes to all-time high from the previous cycle, more than a 10x from here. So yeah, that's what I would say on utility tokens. Eventually they have to fulfill their promise, and it could be this cycle, and hopefully that also helps with the fibs. But ultimately you're looking for these levels. So once it breaks all-time high, these are the extension levels: 1.618, 2.618, and so on. And a full extension would go to the 4.236. But from 2017 to 2021, we only got as far as the 3.618, and that goes back to my point, is that we never got a proper alt season in 2021. Coins your drop. So AXGT doesn't really have a chart, so that's going to be pretty impossible to check. Chart's going to be better. I mean, this is the right. Drop the ticker for Casper. Because if this is the chart, then yeah, it's interesting. It just looks like inspect. Looks like it launched, done all right, and then dumped. So yeah, let me know the ticker and I can pull it up. I assume AXGT is a new coin or DEX only. Makes it quite difficult to chart. Credify, yeah, pretty nice chart to be fair. So obviously it bottomed here in the bear market, but if you look at where this wick, hopefully try and zoom in actually. And see it perfectly came back to this level here. So that's kind of what you're looking for these checkbacks. Really nice level to enter, little wick, and then hopefully up we go. And if you look on the B-Day chart, it just fell short of the 200 MA. I love B-Day charts for some of the cryptos that we chart. It's one of the most reliable charts in my opinion. Takes out some of the volatility on the daily as well, and you can see it looks like Credify is also printing quite a bullish hammer candle, which means we could see it attack the 200-day moving average, which is just a bit higher here. That about a 15% move. So yeah, CSPR, so Casper. Maybe Mexi of more volume. Yeah, 3D chart looks. Yeah, I mean it's continuing to sell off, but doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's not got a lot of history. Hard to tell. I assume. So, for anyone tuning in that's not listened to the Borg podcast or the chat about DEXs instead of decentralized exchanges, this candle here, this green candle with this massive wick, is centralized exchanges manipulating the price. In fact, I can't even get it on screen how high it went. Apparently when it launched on exchange it went to $23. It's now at $0.007. That can't be right. But it probably is. And the reason that happens is because the centralized exchanges, there's so little circulating supply because all these projects launch with tiny circulating supply. Centralized exchange list it, but normally they list it buy only. Retail floods out the market, buys it. There's no circulating supply. The price pumps massively, and then the centralized exchange, who have been given free tokens by the project in order to list, just absolutely dump the token. And this happens to pretty much every single coin that's listed on centralized exchanges over the last 18 months. And even Binance, we showed it in something, but of the 44 coins listed on Binance in the last 10 months, only 7 were positive, and the average loss was negative 50%. Absolute wild, given that Bitcoin is up at all-time high. Yeah, Casper looks like an absolute of a chart, but probably isn't. It's just the same as every other chart. It's just the same as Alvara, for example. It's just been absolutely wrecked by centralized exchange. It will come good, unless there is more FUD, unless there's some truth to it. Quant armies in the house. Doesn't look too bad to be. I've never held Quant. One of the reasons I've never held it is genuinely because the reason I never held Quant last time around was because, or I've never ever bought it, is because it's one of these coins that seems to attract retail investors that then love to tell you how amazing it is. It just put me off because it always seemed to be, it's probably the Caspa of previous years, is people that buy it then tell you how we changed the world, it's amazing, it's this, it's that, and it just put me off it, to be honest. But in terms of a pure charting point of view, looks like it's, yeah, so similar to DOT, put in this wick low, it's tested this level with full candle bodies. So I would imagine that's the bottom for the cycle. We can come back and visit this actually. Let's just call that the bottom for this cycle. So I would expect it to start moving up, but again, there's no real price history, so you can't necessarily take this level. But if it was, I mean, these fib levels aren't accurate, so don't go off them. But you would imagine it could reclaim the March level pretty easily, which is what, 3x from here, and then start climbing from there. And you can use these fib levels as take profit levels. A really good guide for take profits. Maybe not for something like Quant, but definitely for some of the other altcoins that have real chart history. For example, if we were doing Chili's, we could say, depending on your average, say your average was, I don't know, say 10 cents was your average for Chili's, then you could use these as quite solid take profit levels. So your average is 10 cents, maybe you ignore the first one, but maybe at 38 cents, so you've got like almost a 4x take profit. 0.5, you've got 5x, so on and so on. That might be a way people can use to take profit. Fib levels are quite handy for that because they pretty much do all the work for you. Have a look at the chat. Casper were with Ripple in Davos, along with Circle. To be fair, I'm not a massive fan of the Davos lot, obviously. But if you're building a banking integration coin, then you probably need to be in those circles. Pardon the pun. Yeah, we'll come back to Quant in future streams if you remind me, and then we can see if we were right about calling the bottom. XRP, yeah, I think I covered it at the start. On the daily, it looks like it's trying to reclaim the 200-day moving average and hold it as support. It claimed it yesterday, try to claim it as support now. Leaving this big wick here, I do expect us to start moving up. Three-day chart, 200-day moving average again, so it's starting to reclaim some key levels. Obviously, it's not even got going yet. Basically, been trading sideways since April 2022, and it's probably say it's been in a bear market since November 2021, and it's never really had a significant pump. But all it takes is, like, look at this candle here from April 2021. %, in a week. All it takes is some catalyst. You know, it would not surprise me if the court case ends just randomly out of the blue. Have a look at Solana. No one seems to mention Solana, which is hilarious because it's one of the best performing coins of the cycle so far. Down here, this was when Celsius were offloading all their tokens, $13 a Solana, and we called it in Pro and said, don't believe the FUD, Solana's going to be fine. And we are currently up 1,400%. I think Solana will go on. I think Solana will do $500 this cycle, probably more, $750 if it continues to drive the volume through the chain, which it looks like it's doing. Looks like the Solana Foundation is actually pretty committed to it as well. So yeah, be very bullish in the cycle. Let's have a look at LimeWire. I will do the fibs. LimeWire's underperforming. Not entirely sure why. I think I don't know this for fact, but I'm assuming there was an unlock or some sort that's caused this drop. Because it seems quite weird that it was doing so well and then it sold off. So I don't know if somebody's been given tokens that have unlocked, their cliff came to an end, or yeah, I would imagine that's exactly what happened. Because TGE was May and the sell-off really kind of started accelerating the end of April into May. So I would imagine somebody had a 12-month cliff, big investor, and they've unlocked their tokens and they've just started dumping them, and they probably got them at, like, I don't know, 2-3 cents. They were early investors in LimeWire, which isn't great, but it means there's not actually sell pressure in the chart. So you do have to look at it two ways, in a glass half empty or glass half full. When it is a VC or early round investor that dumps their tokens, it just means that actual normal holders aren't dumping, just one big whale. And once that's over, once they're out of tokens, then price can appreciate naturally and it's not going to be sold off into. So long term it can be bullish, just in the short term it's painful. But hopefully most people took some profits when we were up here. I think it was we added it. We were buying some, I think, 6 cents. So most people should have taken profit. 2,680% gains. Hopefully you got out. We sold out of the basket allocation, or we sold 5k of it. So hopefully you did the same. Hopefully you've secured some profits back in March, April time. But I did say I was adding. I've been adding. I think I started adding around here, and I've been adding. I actually bought some more last week. I didn't think it was going to drop any more this week, to be fair. So we'll see. See what happens. XRP. If we draw the fib, this isn't. Start this more. Yeah. This is what we've been saying for a while about XRP, is it never had a proper bull run in 2021. So this is the all-time high in 2017. It did 332 on 25th of December. So about 4 weeks after the Bitcoin all-time high in 2017. But because of the lawsuit, it never really had a full bull run. Delisted in the US. There was so much animosity against XRP. So technically you should draw the fibs from the high to the low. I think that's going to give us a crazy price target. So let's have a look at both. So the low 11 cents, that was in March 2020. And that gives us a price target of, if we say it does what Ethereum done in 2017 to 2021, 3.618, talking 11 and a 13 topside target if it fully extends. That's where these price targets that you'll probably see on Twitter, $589 is not even on anyone's radar, unless they're just looking for clicks. But then if we look at what the most recent high to the most recent low, and you're still talking about 751 fully extended, which I think is more than doable. Because one of the things that makes me so bullish on XRP when it finally actually does something is it's been on CNBC for like 2 years. Everyone that's a retail investor will have been exposed to XRP, whether they know it or not. On CNBC, Brad Garlinghouse is on TV all the time giving financial commentary. It's a ticker on financial news when they talk about crypto, up there with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and sometimes Litecoin. So it's one of the easy, it's like a gateway drug, like an easy one for retail investors to buy into, and it's massively undervalued. Retail investor comes to crypto, they look at Bitcoin, $76,000 all-time high, probably don't want to buy the top. Might look at Ethereum, but $2,500, maybe even $3,000, quite a big. People don't like owning less than one of something, so then they might look at XRP, because then they're like, well, this is only 55 cents. This goes as high as Bitcoin. I'm going to be an absolute millionaire. So that's where I think XRP will do very well from retail flooding into the space. Yeah, you and me both. Right, let's have a look at XBorg. Altcoin. Always goes. Surely everyone's buzzing with XBorg. One of our calls. We'll cover Borg in a minute as well while we're on this chart. But hopefully everybody remembers XBorg. We took part in the seed round on Swissborg at, I think it was at 5 cents a coin. So if you took part in that, you're up 5x. And pre-sale, eventually, I think the average price of pre-sale was about 10 cents. If you had a chestplate NFT, got a discount. And then obviously if you've been pledging, you've been getting free tokens. So your average, I think my average is now down about 8.5 cents. Combined with pre-sale, seed round and free tokens, I'm about 8.5 cents. So up nearly 4x on XBorg, so doing very nicely. Doesn't get a lot of mentions. But yeah, XBorg looks like it's doing well. What they keep talking about, just for anyone that's interested, is these numbers here. The volume. This is all natural volume. They're not using market makers. So this is all natural on-chain volume, and this is what the Borg pad that they're talking about and is everywhere just now. Because you look at the Borg, XBorg here, got $95,000 worth of volume through it, which isn't as much as the Solana pair, obviously. Not as big a token, but supply of Borg is actually quite tightly constrained. When they start making these pairs with new projects, which is the plan, then if they even do similar volume to this, but with 3 or 4 projects, the buy pressure on the Borg token is going to be insane, and I think we could see massive price movements for Borg. Yeah, XBorg's looking great. I think it'll easily do $1 in the next, probably maybe even before Christmas. They've got loads of things coming. $1 might be a stretch before Christmas, to be fair, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it tops out this cycle. Yeah, $1 it'll definitely do. Will it do a 10x from here? Possibly, but that is 2.6 billion FTV. That might be a stretch. We'll definitely do $1 billion FTV, 100%. At Borg. Nice move, to be fair, in the last week. 14%. Last 24 hours, 15%. Up. Somebody's buying Borg. And you can see, just on the side screen here, you can see it's all related to Borg pad. So if you've not checked out the Borg podcast, I would check it out. It's it'll be a game changer for the token, and not exactly the utility that everybody thinks, but in a roundabout way, it's going to drive on-chain volume to the token, and that means that the buy pressure is real. One, not going to be market makers, and also if people want to participate in these other token launches, they're going to have to buy Borg in order to take part. There's going to be constant buy pressure. The Borg pad's also going to lock up big portions of supply every time they list a project. I think the minimum is $250,000 worth of Borg per project. That buy pressure on the market, or lockup pressure, is going to send the token flying. But we've been saying it for long enough. Probably long overdue, but these things take time to build. Not just not as easy as just post it everywhere or go buy it, because it's a utility token for a platform. People don't see the value if they can't use Swissborg. So what BorgPad's going to do is give it utility outside of the app. But yeah, check out some of the content. It's pretty good, to be fair. $5 realistic. I wouldn't say it's mental. I would say $3 is 100% realistic. $5, don't see why not. I'll be definitely selling some. Definitely holding some. Because I think long term Swissborg is going to be an amazing value play. I think it's just going to go from strength to strength. So yeah, I'll be holding long term. Especially because, for me anyway, it's the easiest on and off ramp in the UK. Like every other way I tried when Swissborg shut down the on and off ramp, tried Revolut, got my money blocked, tried Uphold, got money blocked. Swissborg make you jump through some hoops about proof of funds and stuff like that, but they've got support, and I've never had my money stopped. I think it does get a bit tricky with sole traders, but you're going to have that problem anywhere. Revolut's no better, Uphold's no better. I don't really know many other on and off ramps, and the fees are so cheap, especially if you lock up tokens. and take one of their premium accounts, which is a no-brainer, especially at these prices. Because I think the top one, maybe 20,000 coins just now. They change it all the time, so it's hard to keep up. If you lock up 20,000 tokens right now, then you're basically guaranteeing cheap fees for a year, but you're paying an overall reduced fee for it. Yeah, Generations, 20,000 Borg. What's that, 4 grand? 4 grand for a year to lock up. But if you wait, we get very expensive. 20,000 Borg's going to be a very expensive fee in probably 6 to 12 months. Fibs don't work amazing on the Borg chart, and the reason for it is because of the migration from CHSB. Have a look to it, but it's really going to be, yeah, there's no real point because there's no real data. But even if we do that, the most inaccurate fibs ever, so do not quote me on this. Then it's $1. Yeah, it's good. It'll be $1. Be $1. You remain at that level as long as you keep the tokens, so you can lock them up again to keep that account level. I think that's how it works. I can't actually remember from last time because it's a year lockup. I can't remember what I did. I don't think I was Generation because it was something else. They had different names for the accounts, so I think I've still got 100 days to go. So I don't think they unlock till January. So I'll let you know. Bitcoin on course to close the highest 3-day candle in history, highest daily candle in history, and I'm pretty sure, unless something dramatic happens in the next few days, we will see the highest weekly candle closure in history. And that's the type of stuff that is going to propel the masses to get into crypto. Lynn, you can let me know then. Happy days. Got another podcast coming out this weekend. It'll drop on Sunday. It's all about market emotions, and it's to talk about bull market emotions as well as bear market emotions. We were having a chat a few days ago, and right in here, so the 5th of August, a lot of you will remember it. Bitcoin dropped to 48k, and everybody was saying there's no way Bitcoin is going to a new all-time high this year because there's a recession coming, World War III's coming, unemployment was going to rise, stock market was going to crash. We were staring down a March 2020 type scenario, and we specifically said we still believed there was going to be a new all-time high before Christmas, and that was just pure emotions driving people to freak out all across crypto Twitter, all across YouTube. We had YouTubers saying that cycle was over and we'd already peaked. The March peak was the top, and if you had bought while everybody was saying that, you'd be up 55%. and I would imagine you'll end up a lot higher in the coming weeks. That's all for tonight. Thanks very much for tuning in. Really enjoyed that. We will do more of these streams as we keep getting more updates for the market, price action, and make sure you check out the podcast because we're trying to cover some specific themes to help explain what's going on in the broader markets. That's all. I will catch you again very soon. See you later.